So if you guys missed it, recently Kotaku reported that the open world Star Wars game has been canceled according to their sources. Now remember, Electronic Arts has not come out to confirm this, and we already made a video about the open world Star Wars game getting canceled according to Kotaku. But now the author of that article has an update for all of us saying that this open world Star Wars game has transformed into yet another Star Wars game, and there's a specific reason for this. We're going to take a look at what the author of the Kotaku article has to say according to what his sources are telling him now about all of this. And again, EA has not confirmed any of this yet, but Kotaku, they're usually very reputable, so that's why we're reporting on this. So let's take a look at what the author had to say. So this is what the author Jason had to say. He said, update, since the publication of this article, I've talked to several more people familiar with EA Vancouver's now canceled open world Star Wars game. This project, which was codenamed Orca, was very early in development, but would involve playing as a scoundrel or bounty hunter who could explore various open world planets and work with different factions across the Star Wars universe. He then goes on to say, when EA's top decision makers looked at their roadmap for the next few years, they decided that they needed something earlier than the planned release date for Orca, according to two people familiar with what happened. So they canceled Orca in favor of a smaller scale Star Wars project that's now aimed for much sooner, likely late 2020, which also happens to be around the same time that I've heard next-gen consoles will launch. Might be a bit earlier, might be a bit later. From what I've heard, next-gen plans are definitely still in flux. And then finally he wraps it up by saying, to EA's credit, those people said the publisher did not lay anyone off as part of this transition. This news comes at a time of cost-cutting across the industry. Major publishers, including both EA and Activision, as we've reported. Some at the studio also hope that Orca might be restarted after this new project is finished. So that's a lot of information to take in. So again, Kotaku reported that the open Star Wars game was canceled. This is what they reported first. We made a video on it. And then they update us to tell us that according to their sources' updates, that, it looks like this open world Star Wars game is going to be transformed into something totally different that will release a lot earlier. So what do you think about this, guys? I'm not sure how I feel about all of this. The Project Orca, it sounded very ambitious. It sounded very cool. The ability to play as a scoundrel or bounty hunter and explore different open world planets. That sounds really awesome. Hopefully that project still happens even after this new project. I really hope it happens because, again, it sounded absolutely amazing. But what do you make of all this? What do you think this new game could be that EA is trying to get out before or during 2020? What do you guys think it could be? Do you think it's going to be a success? What do you want it to be? Let me know in the comments there. I think there's a lot of stuff they could explore. They could explore the Old Republic, of course. They could still explore a bunch of Clone Wars stuff. It could be set in the original trilogy or even the new trilogy. There's a lot of stuff that EA could do with this new game. But let me know, what do you want to see from it? And again, I have to reiterate, EA has not confirmed any of this just yet. It's coming only from Kotaku's sources at this point. But again, Kotaku, they've been very reliable in the past. But I do have to say this, when we first initially reported this, I thought they had completely scrapped all of their Star Wars plans over at Motive Studios. So at least it looks like we may be getting a Star Wars game from Motive Studios still. So hopefully that's a good sign. And again, hopefully they still have Project Orca on the back burner and they're working on that in the background and able to release it. And if you look at Project Orca, a game like that may take until like 2023 to develop. So do you guys want a game earlier than that? Are you happy with this decision. I still want both games. I would like to see the game, that's coming in 2020, and then also Project Orca as well. I mean, the more Star Wars games, the better. And again, Project Orca sounded pretty awesome. But if they ever do an open world Star Wars game, I would also want the ability to create my own Jedi or Sith. They didn't really mention that. They kind of limited it to scoundrels and bounty hunters. So I would want to personally have the ability to wield a lightsaber and choose from the dark side and the light side. But guys, leave your comments below. A lot of news to cover, a lot of stuff to go over, and a lot of stuff to think about. Let me know what you think. Be sure to follow us out here. Don't forget to subscribe for more news on this. If there's any more updates, like an official announcement from EA, you'll be the first to know right here at the Star Wars headquarters. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you always.